Will this come up? Okay. Oh, headphone is somewhere. Why is kapirtam yuma? I don't have a headphone. It was coming. Somebody was talking, but I couldn't listen because I was not having headphone with me. Anyways, in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, we today talk about the dead bodies. So the topic today is a dead body in your syllabus. The dead guy. Who is the dead guy in your syllabus? And that is your applet. The applet is no more, but it is still in your syllabus, so we have to read it anyways. But in fact, it is dead. Okay, it is taken over by the Java FX and Java Web Technologies. There are a lot of web technologies in Java FX, and it's dead way back when we had a Java 8. It was there. After Java 9 came in, it is not supported. It's deprecated. We will call that as a deprecated. In Java terminology, when something is not supported, called deprecated. But it's now dead because Applet was basically made to run in web browser. Okay, you have a web page, then you have HTML on it, and you embed the Java code in it. The functionality of what more or less you do with the JavaScript, okay, you do with the applets, and it were lightweight code which run in a web browser. They don't run off their own. That is the thing, because they don't have a main function. There is no main function in the applet. Okay, so they can't run off their own. They're not standalone programs. They have to run in a web browser. Basically, typically they have to run in a web browser. Okay, they were made to run in a web browser, or you could have run them. We have what's called the applet viewers. Okay, which run them even in Eclipse. We had, not have. Okay, Eclipse, we had the applet runner and all that. But today, if you run whatever the version 16 you have, Java 16, okay, 0.0, it is not supported. So you will not be able to run. Therefore, what I have done yesterday is I have uninstalled the Java, I have uninstalled the Eclipse, and I got the couple more. I got the Eclipse, which is the old one. I guess that is here. This one, even here it doesn't work. It is 2018 version. I tested it. It is working in it. So you download Eclipse 20. This is Eclipse, yeah, 2018 Eclipse. It's working in it, and Java 8, 1.8. Okay, you have to download Java 1.8. You have to uninstall the Java. You have to install again. If I go to the command prompt and see the version, CMD. So otherwise you won't be able to admit. Zahid and Fahim, open up your cams. Why is the CMD gone? CMD may be here on this page. Where is CMD gone? Come on, bro, come here. Say Java. Is Java installed? Yeah, it is installed. It's a Java and version. Now it got to be 1.8 because 1.9, it's dead. You cannot just today, no, last time we installed 16 point something, right? They don't support Applet, and it should not have been in your syllabus. Typically, there should be Java FX, or could have an Android one module of it, or like that. But this should not have been a syllabus because this is way back dead. Anyways, they have kept it for some reason, and I'm not getting that reason at all why they have kept it. Anyways, and most importantly, it was supposed to run in a browser, and browsers are not supporting it right now, because what happens is the security issue. The security issue is because to run the applet in a browser, you need to have a JVM plugin into it. You need to have what? JVM plugin. And now browsers are advancing, and for the security reasons, they are not allowing any plugins. They are not, even the Flash recently, they discontinued flash. So any flash content can't be run in a browser. Now Applet also needs a what? Applet also needs what? A web browser to run. Okay, and it can't run off its own unless we don't have a, because Applet is nothing but a .class file. It is typically a Java file without main. It is without main Java file, same. But yes, Applet has its own kind of scenarios where we can build those pages and, you know, website oriented. It's a web design and development or development oriented kind of things. So we can develop that, but it has to be rendered within the, we call it a render. It has to be rendered within the web page. And who will do it? It is the JVM. Zahid Beg, what are you talking? Why is it you're all the time talking when you're in a class? If you're not free, you should leave the class and come back when you're free. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I see you maximum times you are in a class or talking with somebody. So if you are not free, then why are you at the fun? Why are you in a class? You should leave. Anyways, so what I'm saying is that we have to have JVM in the web browser as a plugin, because that will be as a plugin in a web browser, and then it can render this applet class. Okay, but today's browser I'm not able to find. I tried yesterday, and क्योंकि Internet Explorer पे चलता था पिछली बार, खाली Internet Explorer, क्योंकि Chrome and Mozilla Firefox and Opera and all, they have discontinued this applet kind of thing. They don't allow the plugins to run applets. Internet Explorer पे चल रहा था, लेकिन कल मैंने टेस्ट किया, Internet Explorer पे भी नहीं चला. So we have only way out to read this is the Eclipse, the old Eclipse, and run it on Eclipse viewer. We have an Eclipse applet viewer where it can be seen. We can, at least for the study purposes. Do you understand? Or if you have an old computer somewhere in a college and all, then you can run it on the browser. If they have the old Internet Explorer not updated, you may be able to run that. Okay, or you have some old systems with the old operating systems like XP and all, maybe it will run there, but not in browsers like, I mean, their Internet Explorer, which is belongs to that operating system like XP or Windows 7 maybe also. If you have Windows 7 and then you have an Internet Explorer there, you can use that, because Internet Explorer को कभी इस्तेमाल नहीं करते हम, है ना? So at least वो applets में run करने में लगेगा आपको. But right now I'm not able to run that. I just tried yesterday, but it couldn't. So I will be doing it on the Eclipse, and that too I told you get the old Eclipse. That is your 2018. It is running 2018 fine. Maybe after that may run, but I went back to the 2018. मैंने पुराना वाला ही किया. Okay. Anyways, now we have to first understand what is applet. So applet is basically a class, like thread and all. Everything is a class here, and applet is also a class. Okay, in Java it's a Java.applet, because it's in a Java file. We know everything is in a Java file, and there is a hierarchy of classes there. The firstly we have the object class. We know the object class is there. Admit there is a hierarchy of applet class. So we have an object class, and from the object class, what we have is a component class. When you understand the graphics of the Java graphics, then you will be working more of this component class and then container class. Okay, because they're not only for the applets only, they're for many graphics. Like container class, it has everything, panels and all. Try to create some windows and all. Okay, if you want to create graphics in your Java. And after the container, we have the panel. This is the class hierarchy I'm showing you. And after the panel, we have your applet. And we also have what is called a JApplet here. But your class, if any class you want to make, it has to be the subclass of the applet class, if at all you want to make it an applet. So like I told you, if it's a person and you have a student is a person. Similarly, if your class extends applet class, so your class is an applet. And you don't have to create a main in it. Okay, that's not allowed because it is not to be run standalone. Rather, it has to be run in a web browser. Typically, it has to be run in a web browser, or it could be seen using some Eclipse, applet viewers. It could be Eclipse or something else, standalone Eclipse applet viewers. There are many standalone, these viewers, applet viewers, or simply we will see it in an Eclipse applet viewer. But you need to have an old Eclipse, and you need to have 1.8 below or up to 1.8 Java. You cannot have JDK 1.9, okay, or higher. Then it's not supported. Actually, it's deprecated, so it won't be there. Now there is a life cycle. So I told you this is the object class and component, then container, then panel, then applet, and JApplet is also there. But if you're talking about applet, then this class has to be the super class or whatever class you will make as an applet. Okay. Now there is a life cycle of an applet. Life cycle of applet. So my question to all of you, why is browsers not having these applets today? Sophia Altaf, your camera is off constantly. This is very bad.
Sir, my Wi-Fi is down. I don't know. I'm trying to switch it on, but it's showing connecting continuously again and again.
Try to fix it. Junaida Shaukat and Fahim Shaukat. Dono hai Shaukat, huh? Shaukat Sabin, try to open your cams.
Sir, ये open ही है.
But I'm seeing the black screen. Okay, I'm asking a question without wasting time. Why are the browsers not supporting the applets today? Yes, anyone? अभी तो बोला मैंने. I just told you, na? Because if browser has to run the applet, it has to have what? A plugin, which has to be a JVM plugin, which can render the applet, because applet is not nothing but a .class file. It's a Java file without main. Okay, so that means the browser has to have a plugin, and plugin is the way where all the security issues comes in. That's why browsers are doing what? They are removing these kind of things. I have two documents for it, from Java applets to the Java FX. There are small short documents. Just read them. Perhaps I have shared them on the WhatsApp. If not, I will see. I will check. मुझे याद नहीं, मैंने शायद शेयर किए कल. 2K के एक किया, मैं दोनों भेजूंगा. But read them, okay, and see what technologies are being used right now. Okay. Now this is a life cycle of applet. What is happening here is the first. First of all, your class has to be the subclass of applet. So if you create a public class, maybe my applet, I call it my applet. It has to extends what? It has to extend the applet class. Okay. Now there are many methods basically which will go by the life cycle of applet. There are many methods which will help us to execute the applet, and we have to override them. We have to override those methods, and those methods belong to the not only the life cycle, but also if you want to draw something and you want to make something and you want to do something on your web page, those things will be there, but it has the life cycle. One starts from the init. We have an init method here, so that is called as an init. Init means initialize. You have to initialize the applet. Okay, then there is a start. So after initialize, you have to go to the start, and we have here the start method. Okay, and we can have the stop. You want to stop the applet, and we have a stop method here. It's a life cycle of the applet also. Init, start, stop, and then destroy. And we have a destroy method here, which is actually overridden from the applet class. You have to override them from the applet class. Okay, so we have to initialize, start the applet, then stop it, and then destroy it. Stop it doesn't mean it's gone. You can go from stop to start, okay, in a loop. You can stop it, you can start it, start, but it's still there. But if you're destroyed, it is not there. You have to call after destroy. You cannot run it. You have to reinitialize it if you want to at all run again. Does it make sense what I'm saying? Where is Eclipse? Eclipse, yeah.
सर थोड़ा और रिपीट कीजिए, समझ ही नहीं आया मुझे।
Good. कौन सा?
यही एप्लेट वाला ही, थोड़ा ऊपर से दीजिए।
कोई बात नहीं, मैं पूरा ही बताऊंगा। स्पेसिफिक बताए, आप सारा ही बता रहे हो कि बिल्कुल ही, मतलब ये वाला
सारा?
अच्छा, सारा ही समझ नहीं आया आपको?
यस सर।
कोई बात नहीं। एप्लेट होता क्या है कि पहले ऐसे देखें, जो ये एप्लेट होता है, जैसे कि मैंने एक क्लास बनाया यहाँ पे, ठीक है, एक क्लास बनाऊंगा मैं यहाँ पे, myapplet.java बन गया क्लास। इसके अंदर मैं मेन नहीं रखूंगा, ठीक है, यहाँ पे होना चाहिए था ना myapplet, मैंने वो रब किया हुआ है। सो आई कुड से पब्लिक वाइड my, क्योंकि class name and file name should be same, right? Class name and file name should be same, my applet. Okay, public void class. ठीक है, अब मेरा जो ये public void class my applet है, ठीक है, it extends, पहले इसको मैं ऐसे लिखता हूं, साजिद मुश्ताक क्या वो है, okay. One second, inline class. हाँ जी, पब्लिक वाइड क्लास माई एप्लेट मैंने किया, ठीक है। इसमें क्या परेशानी है, सिंटेक्स एरर कहाँ पे, वाइड क्या स्पेलिंग है, व्यू आईडी नहीं है, अच्छा एक पब्लिक क्लास, हाँ सॉरी, दिस नॉट अ मेथड, दिस अ क्लास, पब्लिक क्लास माई एप्लेट। ओके, ये मैंने एक क्लास बनाया जिसे हम क्लास बनाते थे, इसका नाम है माई एप्लेट, बिकॉज इट हैज टू बी सेम नेम एज दैट ऑफ एन फाइल नेम, वी नो दैट, राइट। दिस इज अ क्लास, सेम क्लास वी मेड, लेकिन इसमें मेन नहीं है, इसमें मेन नहीं है, जो अगर मेन नहीं तो रन नहीं हो सकता है ना, अगर मेन नहीं है ये रन नहीं हो सकता, तो इसको रन कौन करेगा, ये असल में बनाया गया है, ये एप्लेट जो मेरा क्लास बनाऊंगा मैं, लेकिन अभी तक एप्लेट नहीं है, जब तुम्हें एक्सटेंड नहीं करूंगा, आई हैव टू एक्सटेंड्स द एप्लेट क्लास, ओके, APPLET कहाँ गया है, हाँ पता नहीं हैंग हो रहा है कुछ, एप्लेट क्लास अभी बताएगा वो इंपोर्ट करने का, इंपोर्ट java.applet, तो java.applet.applet ये जो है आप इसको एक्सटेंड करेंगे यहां से, ठीक है, ओके, दिस इज द java.applet, जावा की पैकेज के अंदर वहां पे एप्लेट पैकेज है, उस पैकेज के अंदर आपके पास एप्लेट एक क्लास है, ओके, उस क्लास को एक्सटेंड करेंगे आप, ठीक है ना। तो अब यानी कि ये क्लास जो मेरा माई एप्लेट क्लास है, एप्लेट क्लास बन गया क्योंकि इट एक्सटेंड्स फ्रॉम द एप्लेट, ठीक। अब मसला है कि जो मेन ही नहीं है, तो मेन तो इसको कोई रन ही नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि अगर इसको कोई ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम रन करने वाला है वो तो मेन से करता है ना, जब मेन है नहीं तो इसको कौन रन करेगा, इसको वेब ब्राउजर रन करेगा, वेब ब्राउजर में कौन करेगा, वहां पे एक JVM का प्लगइन होगा वो इसको रन करेगा, क्योंकि एक जो एप्लेट होते हैं वो छोटे प्रोग्राम्स होते हैं, ये हमें वेब ब्राउजर के लिए है, किसके लिए है, जैसे आपको मैंने बताया था वेब प्रोग्रामिंग जब हम पढ़ रहे थे, मैंने आपसे कहा था कि हमारे पास जावा होता है ना, HTML एंड CSS से हम पेज बनाते हैं, लेकिन उसकी फंक्शनैलिटी कि वो ऑन क्लिक पे क्या हो जाएगा वगैरह वगैरह, वो किससे करते हैं, जावास्क्रिप्ट से, ठीक है ना। इसी तरीके से जावा के अंदर अगर आपको वेब प्रोग्रामिंग करनी है तो आपके पास एप्लेट था, जो कि अब नहीं है। उसके पास क्या था? एप्लेट। सो इट हैड टू रन इन ए वेब ब्राउजर। अंडरस्टूड? जैसे आपके HTML का पेज बनाओगे, वो किस में रन होगा? उसको कौन रेंडर करेगा? अर्शिन, ओपन अप द माइक।
वो भी ब्राउजर में ही होता है।
वो ब्राउजर में होगा, क्योंकि इसके उसका हिसाब ही रेंडरिंग इंजन जो उसका है वो ब्राउजर के पास है, जो HTML और CSS को रन करेगा, इवन जावास्क्रिप्ट को रन करेगा। ठीक है ना। इसी तरीके से जो एप्लेट होगा उसको रन करेगा ब्राउजर। लेकिन अब इस वक्त ये है कि ब्राउजर्स हैव स्टॉप्ड सपोर्टिंग द एप्लेट्स, सो वी आर नॉट एबल टू रन इट इन ए ब्राउजर। इफ यू वांट टू रन एनीथिंग इन ए ब्राउजर, इट वोंट रन। ठीक है। उसके लिए हमारे पास एक HTML की फाइल ही बनानी है, उसमें एम्बेड करना है कि कौन सी क्लास फाइल आप, मैं दिखाऊंगा वो कैसे करेंगे हम, लेकिन वो रन नहीं होगा, लेकिन मैं दिखाऊंगा कैसे करते थे। अब यहाँ पे जो है, जो आप लिखोगे, इट इज फॉर showing in the browser. It is for showing in what? Whatever you want to do it here is that is for the browser. Maybe you want to create buttons, you want to create whatever colors and texts, anything, whatever you want to show on your browser. That we can write here in this code. And it is to be embedded in the HTML. Now what we'll have actually is an HTML file, and there we have an applet tag. Okay. In applet tag, we actually load this class file. We have to first compile it. After compilation, we make the dot class file. That dot class file is to be embedded in the HTML. And in HTML, actually, this file then will run in the browser, embedded inside the HTML. Now, we are first doing this applet. We are building this class. Basically, Danish and Faizan, ab aage. So basically, when you have an applet code, you have to write it in a Java here, compile it, make a dot class file. Then you have to write HTML and call this file into that and embed it into that HTML file to run. Does it make sense now? Arshin?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here I will do what? I will go to the source and I will try to override or implement methods. So I want to implement destroy method. I have the init method. I have the start method. I have the stop method. They have come from where? They have come from the applet class. And in the container, because it's a subclass of container and component and object. So all of those, when you say implement and override, we're saying override or implement. So that means it will show us which classes we have come from. उनके methods आप override करना चाहते हो नहीं, तो यहाँ आप सीधे दिख रहा है एक तो कंटेनर क्लास, यहाँ पे देखें, ये देखिए, एक तो एप्लेट क्लास है, एक तो पैनल है, कंटेनर है, कंपोनेंट है, ऑब्जेक्ट है, सारे क्लासेस अवेलेबल है, क्योंकि बिकॉज आई टोल्ड यू वी हैव ऑन टॉप ऑब्जेक्ट, देन वी हैव अ कंपोनेंट, उसके नीचे कंटेनर है, उसके नीचे पैनल है, उसके नीचे एप्लेट है। तो अगर आप एप्लेट के ऊपर हो इस वक्त, बिकॉज योर क्लास हैज एक्सटेंडेड द एप्लेट, नाउ you can override the methods from all of your parent classes, है ना? So you can override from here, and from container class I will go for the paint. There are thousands of classes you can override and do that thing. I will do the paint फिलहाल here, paint graphics and so on. And I say okay. Now I got these methods to be overridden in my class, because my class is the child class of applet class. So I can override the classes methods from the applet class, also from the container class, also from the panel class, also from the object class, because they are all parents. This is the multi-level hierarchy now of inheritance, right? Does it make sense what I'm saying? So in the paint class here, I am saying G dot drawString. G है ना, अच्छा नहीं, ARG है. Let me call it G. G dot draw string. Okay. Now I want to draw a string here. Maybe I will draw a salam. Assalamu alaikum. And then I will tell few things here, like what should be here? What should be argument? What do you think? What it will be? Can anyone tell me? Yes. What it will be? Like 30 and I say like 140 maybe.
Pixel coordinates.
Exactly. So g.drawString, and now it's showing me the error because properly not quoted.
String one नहीं की है.
Quote nahi hai na. Okay. Now, but if you could see when I start saying the g.drawString, it has, we have the AWT package. What is AWT? Abstract Window Toolkit. What is it? Abstract Window Toolkit. Whenever you use the graphics in the Java, you have to use the AWT package, wherein we have the all the graphics. AWT.graphics is a class then which will be used, okay, to draw things on the panel. Okay, so that is what g.drawString is. Now I can give it a go and I will make it run. And as you could see, if I go here and I say run my applet, run as, it is run as Java applet. It's not run as normal Java program. Why? Danish Fayaz, why is this not run as a Java program and rather it is run as applet?
Sir, because it's a web application.
So what? Why can't we run it as a Java application here? Because it does not have, because it does not have
main.
It does not have main function. Okay, so it has to be run in something else who can run it, and it is your web browser. And here web browser is inbuilt, okay, as an applet viewer. So we can run it as an applet. So we can say run as an applet, Java applet. And I say, okay. Now it's running it somewhere, maybe on this screen. Yeah. Now applet viewer is coming on the screen. Okay, where there is Assalamu alaikum and your coordinates, whatever the coordinates you are given. Does it make sense what I'm saying? Okay. Now close it. Now same way we have, for example, in it, we have start, we have stop, and when you run it, it's automatically run. But we don't have to call the init to initialize it. Basically, init will be called when we run it. And whatever the code here is, it is run first. Okay, maybe I create of type color C equals to new color. I'm creating a new color object. Okay, and giving it some RGB contents like 20, say 22, say 78 or something like that. Let us see what color it will make, RGB color. I'm creating a color object and feeding it some RGB values to create my new color. What is the problem with this color? See some new color. Let me see. No. Multiple markers, something. Import color. Okay. We have to import color.java, whatever. So I'm creating the color using the color class. We have a color class. You can create your own color object. And I'm creating the new color object. And maybe I say set background. I want to set the background. There's a method called set background and send it the C with the same color as C. We can set the foreground also. Set, because this is called first. It will be called init method. When the applet runs, it calls first the init method. Whatever is in the init method, we do what we want to do in the beginning. If we want to put something in the beginning of the program, of this applet program, then put it in the init method. क्योंकि ये पहले जिस तरह constructor पहले call होते हैं, ठीक है? इस तरह init method call होता है, initialization. तो इस हिसाब से हम इसको पहले ही लिख सकते हैं ताकि हमारा जो है हमारा जो है we can directly call the color dot, for example, white. ठीक है? Because in color class there are static methods and static variables like white, which can directly create my white foreground. So I am calling the color using the color class, the white. So what is white? Okay, if you could see here, it's a static public static final color white. So it's not only static. That's why I could call it using the color class name. If it is static, then only otherwise I have to create an object of the color. I can use the class name, static because it's static, so we'll use the class name, and final because it's a constant, some value which is a void. Okay, so if I give it a go now, okay, always I say always save resource when watching and so on. Okay, it's coming on the screen maybe. Now, as you could see here, my RGB values, these RGB values have went to the blue kind of shade, and this is the color dot white foreground, color dot white, the foreground color. Okay, getting? Now, this is not to run in a Java, this is to be run in a browser. So whatever you write here, then you create an HTML file, okay, and there is an applet tag which will load this applet class there. There's an applet tag where you'll give the path of name of this class and all. And if you have, that's called a base. Base is the class name. And if you are not having this class file there, where the when will the class file कब बनेगी इसकी? इसकी class file कब बनेगी? जब हम इसको compile करेंगे. Otherwise it's a .java. So जब हम इसको compile करेंगे, we will have a my applet dot class. Compile करके बनेगा ना यार वही. तो क्यों शुद्ध दलील कम सा? कुछ बोल ही नहीं रहे हो? जब मैं इसको कंपाइल करूंगा, इसको डॉट क्लास फाइल बनेगी ना. What is बाइट कोड? भूल गए क्या? बाइट कोड इज द इंटरमीडिएट कोड विच इज द डॉट क्लास फाइल, राइट? सो वो कब बनती है? जिसको कंपाइल करते हैं. अब वो होनी चाहिए, और उसी फोल्डर में हम HTML फाइल बनाएंगे और उसमें टैग देंगे एप्लेट का. ठीक है? और फिर जब मैं HTML फाइल को रन करेंगे इन ए ब्राउजर, it will run that applet class into that. लेकिन बदकिस्मती से वो हमारे पास ब्राउजर में अभी नहीं चलेगा, इसलिए we have to see it here only. But I will show you how to do that, because maybe exam purposes, because they may ask you to create an HTML code to run the class file or applet, right? For that I will show you how to do that. Okay, now in a paint maybe I will do a few more things, like I say draw string. Okay, now I want to draw more string. Okay, I can set new color. I can say set color. Yeah, here is set color. Okay, I want to set new color. Maybe I say color dot red. Now I am setting the new color as a color dot red. Okay, I can create a new font. I can create a font class. Font F equals to new font. Okay, and I can give the font some name. Maybe I gave it name as a Juni, my font. Okay, whatever font I have, then I will give some arguments to it. That is whether it is bold or whether it is italic, and what is the font size. Firstly, the font, is it bold or italic, something or like that, underline or underline, and then because there are two arguments only, you have to give here the size. Here I say 3, that's bigger. Maybe I give a 10, that is a bigger size, or maybe 20, put on 20 size. And there is one argument here inside. There are 3 arguments: the name of the font, second is whether it is bold or italic or whatever. Then you have to concatenate them together. Okay, if it is, because font is bold as well as italic as well as underline, then you have to concatenate them together in this one argument. So maybe I say it is a font, okay, dot bold, and then use a pipe sign to concatenate it. It's a pipe sign, not hyphen sign. Where's the pipe sign? Is on this side, I guess, huh? Yeah. And then I say font dot italic. Maybe you can put up all these things: center, hanging, layout, whatever. You can see a lot of things are here, right? With the font, these are all static kind of things, so you can put up all these things. So I am saying italic right now, italic. Okay, so my font now is set. My font is now, I created this font, I have not applied it yet. It is my font. F is new font, its name is Juni, and it is bold, it is italic, its size is 20, and set color red हो गया. अब जो भी मैं करूंगा उसका set color red हो ही जाएगा. अब जो भी मैं लिखूंगा वो उसका रेड कलर होगा, व्हाइट नहीं होगा, क्योंकि मैंने सेट कलर क्या किया, रेड. अब जो भी मैं लिखूंगा उसका रेड कलर ही होगा, लेकिन फॉन्ट मेरे को अप्लाई करने पड़ेगा। वो किसको मैं अप्लाई करूंगा? जो ग्राफिक्स ऑब्जेक्ट मेरे पास है जी, यूजिंग द सेट फॉन्ट। और इसमें मैं फॉन्ट ये एफ जो मैंने अभी बनाया उसको मैं सेट करूंगा। ठीक है, अब मेरा फॉन्ट ये बन गया। जो मेरा ग्राफिक्स ऑब्जेक्ट जी है, मैंने ग्राफिक्स ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया ना जी, तो जी की मैं ड्रा स्ट्रिंग कर रहा था, जी का सेट कलर कर रहा था। अब मैंने फॉन्ट ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया, अब वो अप्लाई कराऊंगा मैं जी डॉट सेट फॉन्ट के ऊपर। अब अगर मैं जी डॉट ड्रा स्ट्रिंग करूंगा, ये कॉपी पेस्ट, मे बी ऐसे वालेकुम अस्सलाम वालेकुम salam, but you have to give it different this coordinates. Okay, I have given that इसको कितना दिया था 30, इसको देंगे 10, 10 और y थोड़ा सा कम देंगे, 100 पे रखेंगे, ठीक है ना। इसको देंगे 30 140 पे। Let's try to see how it looks now. Okay, as you could see now here, we have successfully created a second string, and our font is now red. Our color is red. Okay, and it is bold and italic. Okay, and size is